Hello and welcome to this edition of the Deep Dive. We're here to dig into some really interesting subjects by looking closely at the source materials we've gathered.
That's right.
The aim is always to give you a richer picture. And speaking of rich pictures, or maybe just words, I heard about a librarian, right? Slipped on some books, fractured his hip.
Oh, no.
Yeah, apparently he fell into a literary criticism.
Okay, that's a good one. I'm Kimi, by the way.
And I'm Harry. Glad you liked it. Today, though, we're diving into someone truly remarkable, Terry Fox.
Yes, an extraordinary Canadian. His story, it just resonates, doesn't it? We've got some great articles, biographical details.
Exactly. And our mission today is to pull out the key bits, the really compelling parts of his life, and the marathon of hope from these sources. We want to give everyone listening a solid, thorough understanding without needing to read everything themselves.
Sounds like a plan. So, Terry Fox, born July 28, 1958, in Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Right. And sadly, passed away quite young, June 28, 1981. He was only 22.
In New Westminster, BC. Died from cancer, the very thing he fought so hard against.
And he's known, of course, for the Marathon of Hope, an incredible journey. He was also made a Companion of the Order of Canada.
One of the highest honors and the youngest ever to receive it at the time.
Thinking about his early life, the sources mention his family, parents Roland and Betty, and siblings Fred, Daryl, and Judith.
And there's that interesting detail about his heritage. His maternal grandmother was Métis, and his brother Daryl actually has Métis status.
Yeah, adds another layer. They moved to BC, Surrey first in 66, then Port Coquitlam in 68.
And apparently he was always super competitive, really driven.
Definitely. Channeled that into sports and high school basketball, cross-country running. He even went on to Simon Fraser University, studied kinesiology, played junior varsity basketball there.
But then things took a turn. There was that car accident in 76.
Right. Injured his right knee. He kept playing basketball through the pain, finished the season.
But the pain didn't go away. And then March 1977, the diagnosis, osteosarcoma, bone cancer.
Which led to the amputation of his right leg. Just devastating news.
It is. But what's striking is how he reacted. He learned about the improved survival rates thanks to cancer research, and that seemed to, well, give him some perspective even then.
He was incredibly resilient. He got an artificial leg and just kept going. Got into wheelchair basketball.
And was amazing at it. Won 3 national championships with his team. Named an all-star. Shows that drive again.
So what sparked the Marathon of Hope? This, unbelievably ambitious idea.
It seems it was an article he read about Dick Traum.
Ah, the first amputee to run the New York City Marathon.
Exactly. That planted the seed. Terry then spent, 14 months training? Pretty intense.
And he kept the actual plan running across all of Canada, mostly to himself at first. Just told his friend Douglas Allward.
Yeah, underscores how personal this mission was for him initially.
So the Marathon of Hope officially kicks off April 12, 1980. St. John's, Newfoundland, and Labrador.
Right. And he does that symbolic thing, dips his artificial leg in the Atlantic Ocean.
And collected some water, planning to pour it into the Pacific when he got there. A coast-to-coast symbol.
Doug Allward was there from the start, driving the van, providing support, which was crucial, especially early on.
Definitely. They faced rough weather right away, snow, strong winds.
But then they hit Channel Porto Basque, and the reception was just overwhelming, really heartwarming. Kind of a sign of things to come, maybe.
I think so. Looking at the details from the road, his running style itself was unusual. Because of the prosthesis, he had this sort of hop-step gait.
And the physical toll, even in training, was immense. Bone bruises, blisters, constant pain.
Yeah, he often said the first few miles were the worst, but then he could kind of push through it.
There's that story about the 17-mile race he ran before the marathon. Finished last, dead last.
But everyone else waited and applauded him. Amazing.
It is. And, his mom, Betty, was initially worried, understandably concerned about the physical strain.
Of course. But she became one of his biggest supporters. His fundraising goals also grew, didn't they?
Oh, absolutely. Started aiming for $1 million, then $10 million.
And eventually, that symbolic goal, $1 from every Canadian.
Yeah.
Which was 24 million people back then. Shows how his vision expanded.
And as he ran, especially once he hit Ontario, the support just exploded.
Huge crowds, police escorts. It became a national event.
He met the Governor General, Ed Schreier, Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau, did a ceremonial kickoff at a CFL game.
The support from people like Isidore Sharp from Four Seasons Hotels was also key, providing places to stay, helping get corporate pledges.
Right. And meeting sports heroes meant a lot to him, too, like NHL star Daryl Sittler and especially hockey legend Bobby Orr. That was a big moment for Terry.
But running basically a marathon every single day. The physical cost was brutal.
Yeah, shin splints, his knee got inflamed, cysts, dizzy spells. It's just relentless.
And apparently he wasn't keen on regular medical checkups. Probably didn't want to stop, wanted to keep the momentum going.
Understandable, maybe, but risky. He also got frustrated with the media sometimes, felt they were too intrusive or focused on the wrong things.
Yeah, the pressure must have been immense, dealing with all that while pushing his body to the absolute limit.
And then came that day, September 1st, 1980, outside Thunder Bay, Ontario.
He had to stop. The coughing fits, the chest pain.
The cancer had returned, spread to his lungs, just heartbreaking.
He'd run 5,373 kilometers. That's over 3,300 miles for 143 straight days.
An unbelievable achievement. And by that point, he'd already raised $1.7 million.
The country was just stunned. But the response, wow. CTV organized a telethon almost immediately.
Raised another $10.5 million, massive outpouring. Governments chipped in millions for research, too.
And the letters, the messages, the donations just flooded in. That famous letter addressed simply to Terry Fox, Canada, that actually reached him.
Yeah.
It says everything.
It really does. He'd captured the heart of the nation.
The honors started pouring in, too. Youngest companion of the Order of Canada, like we said. BC gave him the Order of the Dogwood.
Induction into Canada's Sports Hall of Fame. Named Canada's Newsmaker of the Year by the Canadian Press for 1980 and 1981.
He kept fighting, undergoing chemotherapy, but his condition worsened.
And on June 28, 1981, he passed away.
The whole country mourned. Flags were lowered to half-mast. Prime Minister Trudeau addressed the House of Commons. His funeral was broadcast nationally.
His legacy, it's hard to overstate. He became this unifying figure, a true national hero.
That 1999 survey naming him Canada's greatest hero, it shows the depth of that feeling. He came second in the greatest Canadian TV series vote, too.
Yeah, there's often talk about whether his heroism was being this ordinary guy doing something extraordinary or just the sheer audacity of his vision against such odds.
And importantly, he really challenged how people viewed disability. He refused that label for himself.
Right. Rick Hansen, who was inspired by Terry, said the run shifted the focus from limitations to possibilities. Though some critics point out the media sometimes focuses too much on these superhuman achievements by people with disabilities.
It's a complex point. But his most visible legacy, maybe, is the Terry Fox Run.
Started that same year, September 1981, an annual non-competitive event.
And it's huge now. The world's largest one-day fundraiser for cancer research.
The numbers are staggering. Over 900 million Canadian dollars raised as of September 2024 through the Terry Fox Research Institute. Incredible.
Plus, the National School Run Day keeps his dream alive for younger generations.
Beyond the run, the number of things named after him is just vast.
It really is. Like, maybe people know a Terry Fox Drive or Terry Fox School. There are dozens. Roads, schools, buildings.
7 statues, including the one in Ottawa at the start of the Path of Heroes, Mount Terry Fox in the Rockies.
The Terry Fox Fountain of Hope. Even a Coast Guard icebreaker. The CCGS Terry Fox.
And some other honors are pretty unique, too. That postage stamp issued right after his death, they waived the usual 10-year rule.
Rod Stewart dedicated a song and a tour to him.
The Terry Fox Canadian Youth Centre, now Encounters with Canada. Posthumous induction into the Canadian Medical Hall of Fame.
The Terry Fox Hall of Fame. The Terry Fox Laboratory.
That commemorative dollar coin in 2005, first regular coin with a contemporary Canadian featured, being named a National Historic Person in 2008.
His mother carrying the Olympic flag at the 2010 Vancouver Games opening ceremony. The Terry Fox Award of the Olympics now.
Manitoba has a Terry Fox Day. Google did a doodle for him in 2020.
And the big one coming up, he's going to be on the new Canadian $5 bill starting December 2024.
Which is just amazing. His story's been told in movies, too, like the Terry Fox story and Terry, and even a stage musical.
And his run directly inspired others, like Steve Fougno with his Journey for Lives and Rick Hansen's Man in Motion World Tour.
And both of them paused at that spot near Thunder Bay where Terry had to stop. A very poignant moment.
Wow. Even his image, a rendering of him running, is in the Canadian passport design from 2013. He's just woven into the fabric of Canada.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, thinking about all this, it really makes you consider the power of just one person's determination, doesn't it? For everyone listening, maybe Terry's story prompts some thought about, I don't know, what perseverance really means, or how one individual can genuinely change a nation. Something to ponder. Thanks so much for joining us on this deep dive.
Indeed. It's a story that doesn't fade. Courage, hope, determination. It's all there. Thanks for listening, everyone, and until next time, take care.